The Frank Haith Show, brought to you by Don Thornton Cadillac, Pepsi, River Spirit, TTCU, the credit union, and St. Francis Health System. And now your host, Bruce Howard.
Hello again, everybody, and we welcome you to the Frank Haith Show. I'm Bruce Howard, joined by the head basketball coach at the University of Tulsa. And wow, what a week. A terrific home game, obviously, against Memphis. A historic win for you. But the great thing is you followed up with a kind of a gritty, gutty win at UConn in overtime.
Yeah, obviously, you know, the Memphis game, we played terrific. We go to UConn. We play a team I think is very talented. I think you can't look at their record, but I was really proud of how tough we were on the road. Yeah,
absolutely. The Golden Hurricane winning both games and tied for first place in the American Athletic Conference at 6-1 with the Houston Cougars. Busy week, although no midweek game. We'll get to that a little bit later on. But next is Tulsa-Memphis on the Frank Haith Show. Welcome back to the Frank Haith Show, and our first segment here is about the Memphis game, Coach. And boy, what a game it was, and what a lead up to the game, because you're in first place. They're 3-1, a half game behind.
Yeah, and you know, very talented team, and our students were back, so we had a great crowd. There was a lot of energy, a lot of buzz in the building for the game.
Yeah, and then coming into this game, you knew they were so talented. I mean, they had the greatest recruiting class you would think in recent memory, #1 recruiting class in the country. And even though they lost one of those guys, they're still very talented, aren't they?
Very talented. You start here with Precious. I think scored their first 8 points, but you know, they had some great wins too, beating Tennessee on the road and ranked top 20 in the country.
And there you see the reaction from some of the students, and you get going right off the jump and in the early going, that reverse layup by Jariah Horn. He would be terrific.
Yeah, and they're nice shot fake, because, and we talked about that with Jariah, letting his jump shot set up other things for him, and he's a terrific passer, and he finds Martin slipping through the right there underneath the basket for a dunk.
And Martin Zigbanu able to dunk that one to make it 6-4 in favor of the Golden Hurricane. And now we go back to Jariah, who will knock down a three. And when he is set and squared and gets that pass in the right spot, man, he's pretty good, isn't he?
Really good, really good. And this is a great play by Zay. And then this ball doesn't hit the floor. Textbook transition game. Made the play of the game. You know, Zay laying out for that loose ball and coming up with it first to the floor, and then finding you know, Manny, and then he makes a nice pass to Brandon, right back to Darren, back to Brandon.
Isaiah Hill, again, started all of that in one of his better games in recent memory.
Yeah, he played really strong against a pressure team, and nice pass by Darian. I think Darian had 5 assists this ball game, really shared the ball well. We handled their pressure, and then we made them pay, you know, for pressing us in the backcourt.
And there's Isaiah Hill knocking down a shot, and good defense leading to good offense for the Golden Hurricane.
We had our hands on a lot of balls right there, and that's Lawson doing a good job of rotating there. You know, and good job passing that ball right there, and good shot, great shot mentality.
Darian Jackson, who has become a three-point specialist almost for you in the recent days. But obviously it's defense here that again fuels your offense.
Yeah, I love that play by Zay, just going to get that loose ball, just going in the air and getting it. And obviously Drive, you know, scoring a lot of different ways, and his game is really versatile.
And you can see the score 23-10 at that point, and you also show that toughness inside against some of the bigger trees there.
Yeah, another great play with a lot of guys swarming to that ball, and nice shot by Zay. And he has the ability to make threes off the bounce, you know, and I think he's starting to play with a lot of confidence.
And you see the score at 26-12. You've already forced Memphis to use a timeout, but you keep playing well, and again, a good play by Jariah Horn to avoid the block.
Yeah, and it just moving on a drive, you know, see penetration, and we got our heads up and we're driving that ball, finding the open man.
And that's a left-handed hook shot. And that's something that Martin Zigbanu has kind of added to his repertoire.
Yeah, he's very capable. You know, people try to take away his left shoulder, and nice come back to that right shoulder.
And here's a play where they your team plays great defense, but they weren't aware of the shot clock, and it goes off, and it's really terrific play.
Yeah, nice closeout by Manny on that in the corner, taking away that shot initially.
So you're up by 20, approaching halftime. Hey, let's make it 23, huh?
Nice pass, and obviously a great shot by Lawson, hitting that three right at the end of the half.
So there you see the halftime score, 23, and I mean, what do you say to your team at halftime when you played at such a high level and you know that Memphis is capable in the second half?
Exactly, just that. You know, they're very capable. They were down 14 against South Florida, came back and won that game on the road. But we're doing all the things we need to win. We win the rebounding war in the first half. We're shooting the ball well, and we're doing a good job defensively.
And you keep pouring it on in the second half. And one thing you've done so well, especially off of long rebounds and turnovers, is really fast break and get buckets.
Yeah, and this again, handling their pressure, finishing at the end. Nice pass by Marty. It started with this good pass right here by Lawson, hitting the guy in the middle, looking opposite. Once you catch that ball, good finish.
And it's not a matter of surviving against anybody's press, it's attacking it and scoring, right?
Yes, yes. Again, Darren, ready hands, ready feet. Knock that shot down.
So Darian Jackson able to knock that one in, and again, the defense is good, the ball is loose. It's good play by the Hurricane.
Yeah, another good outlet by Manny, and good finish by Elijah in transition.
So Joyner finishes that one up, and the lead is up to 30, and Memphis forced to call a timeout, and you could tell that Elijah is fired up, as is the Hurricane.
And that's a great play by Darren Jackson, breaking the gaps where he's supposed to be, cutting down driving lanes, and then this is a great finish.
So is that a dunk or not? I called it a soft dunk.
Yeah, that's a dunk. You gotta give him a dunk on that.
Now down low and again, defense with the good hands inside.
Yeah, good hands, good deflection. And again, you know, we're running good offense here. We're not, you know, that's the thing I loved about it. We're patient with the lead and understanding the game, time and situation, good shot, great shot mentality.
Okay, so you're up 33 with 5.5 minutes to play, and I know there's a great play by Jariah, but I know coaches are like, yeah, well, it's never over. But at this point, you got to be feeling just terrific.
Well, and I wanted us to continue to grow as a team and not junk the game, but play it the right way. And nice fake shot by Zay right there. And you talked about it earlier, his performance in this ball game. And but we had a number of guys, and led by Jariah with his game, perform well. But look at those numbers defensively. You know, 29% field goal percentage, 9% from three-point line. Just an outstanding job with our defense.
Yeah, historic in a lot of ways, Coach. The defensive percentage, the best of the year for your team, and obviously the best ever win over a ranked team for the Golden Hurricane. All sorts of platitudes for your team, but the key is that you felt really good about the way you played overall.
Yeah, and you could just see us getting more comfortable and confident in what we're doing.
In a moment, we'll be back and talk about the trip to Connecticut. That's next on The Frank Haith Show.
We know what we have in this locker room. It doesn't matter what everybody else says on the outside the locker room. Hey, we just made shots. Let's play good defense. You know, we played together as a team. Enjoy the night.
Be smart.
Huge game.
Be smart.
Huge game on Sunday.
Yeah.
We're back on the Frank Haith Show. The Golden Hurricane on a roll, but that roll can be stunted, Coach, if you don't win on the road. What were your concerns going to UConn to play the Huskies?
Well, they're really talented, number one. I mean, you look at their last three ball games. They got a double overtime loss at home to Wichita State. You got a possession game at Houston where they should have won or could have won. And then you look at a possession loss on the road at Villanova. So they're a very, very capable team, and I knew our guys need to be ready.
And I know you didn't want to use this as an excuse at all, but you didn't get on the floor at the XL Center in Hartford until the day of the game, and it's a noontime start because they had hockey. So that's something you can't control, but you have to kind of plow through it, right?
Yeah, and we talked about, you know, paint touches. We want to play inside out, and you only took 10 threes in the game. So, but we wanted to attack the paint, and obviously there it is right there. We're going to Martin's early, and a great finish right there in the paint.
Yeah, low scoring early, get that bucket 3 minutes in, but because of your good defense, you were only down 3-2 at that point. Now it's 3-3, and Martin Zigbounded with that deep position.
Yeah, you know, we say this, defense travel, and we knew we had to hold our own here beginning this ball game to get used to the place. And there's Darren drive, what a nice drive on the baseline and finishing. And we knew it was going to be a kind of a grinded out type game.
There's Darian Jackson finding Lawson Carita, and then Carita able to pump in that floater.
Yeah, nice shot by Lawson on that baseline.
So the Hurricane, again, hanging in there in the early going, a little bit of a slow start, but here you are right there, and that jump hook was off, but he got his own rebound. You got to follow your shot. Huh?
They went to a zone and drive, got in the middle of that zone, got shot up, but wouldn't follow the shot, which a good finish. And this is a good job by Martins not charging, and nice pass to Reggie. Reggie knocks this down and gets fouled.
Reggie Jones hadn't played a whole lot, but boy, he produced that 4-point play, and that was big. In any close game, all points are important. And there you see Elijah Joyner being really aggressive at the rim. He got fouled, but he is really playing well for you.
He really is, and then, you know, just being aggressive, and there's Martins again, and you know, getting a shot off in the paint area, and we got good offense execution here. Understanding what the plan was, what we wanted to do. They trapped this time. We have good movement, and there Elijah finishes that dunk.
Yeah, he has really been aggressive to the glass and did a terrific job with the one-hand slam. And the Golden Hurricane taking the lead down the backstretch here in the first half. The team's going back and forth, and you can see Tulsa's up by 2 and trying to extend the lead.
Nice pass by Reggie to get it out of the double team. We got the ball in the middle of the court, just much like you saw in the Memphis game, and hit look opposite, and nice finish.
And the Hurricane then extending their lead a little bit, and as we go down the backstretch of this first half, good pass underneath and a good finish right at the shot clock buzzer.
Yeah, that was good patience, good awareness of the shot clock, and finish there. And we're up 5. You know, defense is playing great. We needed more ball movement offensively. Continue to play inside out, but I like where we're at right now. You see those defensive numbers, and we're in good shape.
Yeah, not bad at all, and in fact doing a good job of defending the inside against UConn. And really, speaking of inside, offensively you're getting it inside, not having to rely on that shot as much, but that one is a good one, obviously, to start things in the second half.
Yeah, again, Dry with a nice shot fake, and there you see Elijah attacking the basket, which he's doing a much better job of that than he did early in the year. Early
in the second half, you have a 9-point lead after that basket knocked in by Brandon Reschel. It's 39-30.
Yeah, good. And inside out. We talked about that, but obviously Darren Allen with another drive, finish with his left hand using the rim.
And then they made a run. They had a 12-0 run right in the middle of the second half, and that was Book Knight, a young freshman. Now here's a play that's just kind of really bizarre. They called the block, which didn't seem to be a good call, and then they gave the basket to the player on extreme continuation.
Yeah, I'm just really proud of our guys, you know, with that stretch there. A lot of adversity, a lot of things didn't go our way, that we didn't wilt, and we got you know, back to what we need to do. And there you see another inside-out play by Martins. He was outstanding in this ball game. And way to scrap that rebound out by Darren. We did a great job on defensive glass, and then we knocked our free throws down. Yeah, that steal by Darian Jackson obviously helped as, again, they had the 47-43 lead, but then obviously you started making plays and again getting in the paint, and a really terrific look by Isaiah Hill. Really great look. And then obviously Marty finishing that with an and one, and there's Dry with a nice pass. We talked about his passing abilities. But Martin's moving on just that little bit of move underneath the basket, getting open. Good execution there. Maybe the biggest three-pointer of the day for Tulsa was Jariah Horn tying the game with just under 2 minutes to go, and that one was huge for you. Big one. And obviously, they had just taken the lead, and you know, good execution here on one of our plays where Brandon, nice finish in the goaltend there, but you know, give us a 2-point lead, and I think this gives us a 3-point lead. The last possession right here, and Darren closes on this thing really big time, and I think he gets ball. He may have hit the hand after he gets ball, but obviously he hits ball first, and that tough call. Yeah, that's all I can say. Difficult call, and of course the leading free throw shooter in the league, Vitale, goes to the free throw line, makes all 3, and so now you're tied. And a half-court shot at the buzzer does not go, and so now you go into overtime. What's the biggest thing about when something happens negatively at the end of regulation, you go to overtime? What's the biggest thing is for a team to recover? Well, you just got to continue to say, hey, listen, you know, we're where we want to be. You just keep, you know, executing, you know, and we did there. Obviously, Brandon was great, that drive, and then good execution. They went zone here, ran one of our plays here to get Darren behind the zone. Great execution, great pass. The key was you had a stop and a basket and a stop and a basket, so it was defense fueling it, and that's a terrific play at the shot clock buzzer. Yeah, nice play, nice execution, great pass by Elijah, and then Brandon goes to the line here in overtime and knocks down his free throws and gives us a nice cushion here. Good throw out rebound. Darren finishes. You can see we're up 8 with 30-some seconds left to go in the game. And
you win the game 79-75. Really great intestinal fortitude for the team. They took a couple of blows from UConn. They recovered, and the Hurricane winning 79-75 with a spectacular overtime period. And so now you've won 5 games in a row, 6-1 in the league. And, Coach, got to be awfully happy with the way you guys are going now.
Yeah, we're in a good place. I think this team is growing. We're still getting better. Obviously, we're playing good basketball. We just got to continue to grow.
And a long ways to go yet in the American Athletic Conference. We'll be back with more in a moment.
Win. That's why we stay together. Adversity hits us, right? We bow our backs, right? And that's the kind of team we have. And I keep saying it. We know what we have in this locker room. And as I told you before the game, winning is hard, right? It's hard. Okay? So you got to rise to the occasion every time you lace them up. You can't take anything for granted. You can't take the opportunity for granted. You got to rise every time you lace them up.
Welcome back to the Frank Haith Show on the Don Thornton Cadillac feature segment. Well, Coaches versus Cancer is an initiative that Coach Haith and, of course, the entire Hurricane family has been involved with for years, and this past week was important in that cause.
This past week, the Hurricane held their annual Coaches versus Cancer game in the Reynolds Center in the win over Memphis. There were 5 families joining us, and they had a chance to tour the locker room and the weight room. They also had a chance to meet all of the players on the team, as well as meeting head coach Frank Haith. At one of the media timeouts, the families got to participate in a challenge on the court where every made basket resulted in a $10 donation to the CVC Foundation. Coach Haith and the players talked about who they were playing for and how the Coaches versus Cancer game affected their lives.
Coaches versus Cancer has been a special event for me personally, being a part of the board. Cancer touches us all. Specifically me, I have a sister has stage 4 colon cancer, and for us to continue to bring awareness to such a dreadful disease, I think is extremely important. And us as coaches, the sneaker weekend has been extremely something that I've seen grow over the years.
Definitely will be playing for, I know a few people that passed away for cancer. I'm playing for them, and I'm playing for all the cancer patients out there.
I'll be playing for all cancer survivors.
For the Coaches vs. Cancers game, I'm going to be playing for all the cancer survivors. Hope you guys doing well. Thank you.
I'm playing for all cancer survivors. I'll be playing for all the cancer survivors. I'm playing for all cancer survivors.
I'm playing for all the cancer survivors.
I will be playing for everyone out there who has sadly been diagnosed with cancer, but going out there and giving it my all and continuing to have their backs about how hard I play.
I'll be playing for all the cancer patients out there and just give my respects to them.
For the Coaches versus the Cancer game, I'll be playing for all cancer survivors.
For Coaches versus Cancer, I'm playing for all cancer survivors.
I'm definitely playing for all the cancer survivors, man. God bless y'all.
We're back on the Frank Haith Show, and Coach, you have the midweek bye, but it will be busy getting ready for Wichita State. Big showdown game on Saturday at the Reynolds Center.
We kind of need to break a little bit. I feel like we've been going so much. We had these road games, and obviously it's a huge game this weekend against a Wichita State team's ranked Wichita State team, and we understand, when you got to protect your home court. So you're going to have a great opportunity on Saturday against one of the best teams in the country, and that's playing really, really well. But I like where we're at. So we get some time to get going, get ourselves acclimated, and get ready for the game.
Big time game. Tulsa 6-1, Wichita State 5-2. Get your tickets. We'll see you Saturday at the Reynolds Center. For the coach, I'm Bruce Howard. We'll talk to you next week on The Frank Haith Show.
The Frank Haith Show, brought to you by Don Thornton Cadillac, Pepsi, River Spirit, TTCU, The Credit Union, and St. Francis Health System. The Frank Haith Show has been a presentation of Golden Hurricane Sports Properties and a Kane Vision production.